Hello, my friends. So, a bit of an adjustment here based on what I picked up on in the last commentary I mentioned, that I was seeing congruency between the trade card for today, the low for tomorrow, or for Monday, and then we have a very similar card here at the low for the month when you look at the 1 year chart. So I'm thinking Monday is likely the low. Makes a lot of sense to me. Monday's a low, and then we'll have a local high out of that Monday, or out of that low. May not be a month's low, but it's going to be a low. In any case, so what I'm setting myself up for right now, I bought more puts when we were at the. I bought more puts right around here. I put on a few diagonal call spreads here, and I'm looking to put on another few diagonal call spreads around between the 2 and 3 o'clock hour. I'll put on more diagonals, but basically that diagonal that I put on, it's still not on, but it's about 4 cents away from hitting the price, and that'll be 460. Oh, let me fix that. Good old Mercury retrograde. I placed sorry guys, I gotta fix something here. I had an order set up to buy for a diagonal put spread when I meant to buy a diagonal call spread. That's so Mercury retrograde, guys. It's not even funny. I'm gonna wait until the 2 to 3 o'clock hour. It just picked up that put spread, so it's a diagonal put spread. What I'm gonna do is wait until the 2 to 3 o'clock hour. Then I'm gonna flip that mistake into a vertical call spread, and the vertical call spread will be buying a February 7th 460 call and selling a January 18th 465 call. That's like a $5 credit. Maybe we should make it a little bit more. So it'll be about $500 if it was to expire in the money. It'd be about $500 in cost. Well, because I'm rolling, it's going to be less. But basically, what I'm looking for is that $5 spread, not because I want to make $5 on the what do you call it, on the. Sorry, guys, I gotta fix this. Yeah, so what I'm looking to do is if we were to open lower, we hit a lower low on Monday, as I see we might possibly do. I would buy back those 465 calls for that expire on Monday. And I would shave off a bunch of the cost of the 460 calls that expire at the other end of retrograde, outside of retrograde. And what I'm looking to do is set myself up for that long-term gain on the other side of retrograde to sell just before, just on like the edge of retrograde. And that'll be my final trade, basically. I'm just sitting there waiting for it to appreciate, and then on the other end of retrograde, I sell it. Yeah, so I'm going to do 460, February 7th, 460 calls, and then I'm going to sell January 22nd, 465 calls against them, and it'll be about $1,000, it'll be about $1,015, $1,015, and it would potentially give me a loss of $15, basically, but I'm not looking to hold that position. I'm looking to buy back that short position on Monday. And then let those long calls ride. I'm looking to create those diagonal spreads at the end, like roughly in the next hour. Let's see where we at. Between the one. Between the 2 and the 3 o'clock hour, somewhere in there. In the midst of a sharp decline, that's when I'll put on those diagonal calls. And then it might even make sense for me to put on a diagonal spread, put spread that expires, the short position expires well past when Mercury retrograde ends. Because likely what will happen is I'll be able to buy that back at a substantial profit right when Mercury retrograde turns direct. And then I'll have puts to follow, like long puts without a short position as well. Similar thing. So I'm basically sitting tight right now, guys, preparing myself to create some diagonal call spreads with February 17th and January, third week of January calls. Yeah, here we go. Here's that drop. looking to support the power cards. So at a support level, notable support, that's when I'll put on these calls. Alright, so let's look at Mercury retrograde. I'm going to pop back on, so this is a different video for Mercury retrograde, but that's where I'm at, guys. Just to summarize, I'm preparing myself for diagonal calls, to put on diagonal call spreads. Basically, I'll be buying 460 calls that expire on February 7th, long. I'll be buying those, and then I may or may not put it on at the exact same time, but by the end of the day, I'll have some short call positions sold against them, and those will be 465 calls that expire next Friday. The intent is to buy those back at a buy them back after they've depreciated substantially on Monday morning. That way I reduce the cost of the 460 calls that expire in February, and then I just ride those through Mercury retrograde. What I'm looking at now, I'm going to get into in the retrograde. Alright guys, so I'll be back on in just momentarily for